has got no any political affiliations. That this press conference has got no any political affiliations. And no political party affiliations. That means the people you see here, they represent the view of Kenyans and not the view of the party. Some of the issues they're going to talk about are national issues. And I would want us to report objectively because these issues concern all Kenyans. And that's why today you see Senator Malala here, you see Dr. DR.AUKOT here, and other leaders. In fact, this press conference ought to have been attended by so many leaders from various parties because the issues that we want to address today concern so many people that they represent. And that's why we are here today. I would want to give this opportunity to the two leaders to take us through on the reason why we have called the media here today. Thank you so much. Senator.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Senator Cleophas Malala. I represent the people of Kakamega County, and I'm also the Senate Deputy Minority Leader. Today we've had a comprehensive meeting with my friend Dr. DR.AUKOT, and we were deliberating on various issues that touch on our nation. Recently, and in the recent past, we've after our August 8th elections, our country went into a violent season, and you saw that the two coalition leaders, that is His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, decided to bring peace to this country. And they went ahead by forming a committee on building bridges. That committee, yesterday, as we saw, came up with the terms of reference, and they are starting to work today. But as they start to work, we as young, focused leaders have decided to engage them and also air out our views. We shall be doing a report, our independent report, and presenting to them as young, focused leaders. We call ourselves Team Fresh. This Team Fresh is non-political. We are not in any political organization. We are just friends who have decided to come together, friends who think alike. And there are some of the things that we have agreed we are going to focus on. Our focal attention will be drawn to three things. First, our country's economy is ailing because of the very big wage bill that we are carrying as a country, and we've adopted the Punguza Mzigo initiative by Dr. Ekuro, which envisaged a situation whereby Kenya, we are overrepresented. And the overrepresentation in both houses, that is the National Assembly and the Senate, has cost Kenyans a lot of money. And we want, if at all we want to heal our nation, we must start with economic healing. And the first step is by reducing our wage bill. We have a number of suggestions we shall be putting forward to the Building Bridges initiative as pertains reducing the number of members of National Assembly and members of the Senate, so that we have a small group representing the people of Kenya. We have countries which have a population of 1.3 billion and are being represented by 800 members of parliament. Some countries like the US is having 350 million people, and they are being represented by 430 members of parliament. It is absurd for Kenya to have only 45 million and we are being represented by 416 members. So we shall be forwarding our views as to what we want to adopt as a Team Fresh on the issue of overrepresentation. I think my brother will elaborate on that. Second, for us to fight corruption in our country, we are alive of the fact that in the just concluded budget that was passed in Parliament a few months ago, the judiciary was not funded adequately. And we are surprised because I think judiciary is one arm of the government that we need to focus on. For us to fight corruption, we need to fund judiciary. It was absurd for the National Assembly to cut down the budget of judiciary. And we as Team Fresh, we are saying that we would want to engage with the leadership of this country to ensure that as to when the supplementary budget will be brought to Parliament, we should be able to add the deficit the judiciary is facing at the moment. But all said and done, we are focused on the issue of building bridges. Though we had stated our disappointment on the issue of representation on that committee, we do not have a youth on that committee. And we do not have enough women on that committee. However, we do not want to engage in that tussle right now. What we've decided as youth, as young Kenyans, is to carry out a parallel interaction with the youth and women of this country. We shall collect the recommendations and forward the recommendations to the Building Bridges initiative. And therefore, we shall not struggle to be part of that committee, but we shall be appearing before them to give them our recommendation. Yeah. Good enough?
I think I don't really have much to add. I want to fully associate myself with the views of Senator Cleophas Malala. I think he has heavily represented what Team Fresh is thinking. Like he said, we are not necessarily we are not opposed to the ideas of building bridges. We will be sharing our views pretty soon again, and you will see in a more detailed document what are some of the concerns that we will be raising, including, of course, the idea that we already have a lot of findings in our country about what ails the country, many reports, and we hope the Building Bridges Task Force will also begin from there as they look for new ideas, fresh ideas on how to build more bridges in this country. And like he has said, we are also concerned as a fairly younger leaders in this country that if we really want to address some of the problems in our country, you cannot underfund the judiciary. See, that means you are affecting manpower. It means we not have enough courtrooms. This will take us back to the backlog, which we had actually thought we had avoided. And I think as a country we should be able to do. And I want to just point out that it's also not fair that same parliament that approves its own 36.8 billion budget also cuts the budgets of another independent constitutional entity. I think in the rules of fairness, that's not really right for Parliament to have done that. And we hope, like Senator Malala said, when the supplementary budget comes, I hope they will give the judiciary all the estimate they had proposed. So we think that's, it's not fair. I think we need the judiciary fully funded so that we are able to address even the issues that the Building Bridges team will come up with. We will actually need a well-empowered, engineered judiciary. I know our youth Congress leaders have a lot to say about the inclusion, but like Malala said, we will not want to use that as a basis to delay the starting off of this important project for our country. But we hope that the issues of the youth will be prioritized. The issues of the women will be prioritized, even though the representation is a bit questionable. Now, on the Punguza Mizigo, of course, like Senator Malala said, this is good for the country. It's good for the country. Even some parliamentarians have actually said to us, I think this is a good initiative. That's why for us today, we've said this is not a party affair. This is about Kenyans who care about how do we reduce the wage bill that really affecting us. Because even for President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Raila on their building bridges, you need money to be able to fix some of those issues, especially the big four. And I think at a later stage we will again invite you, or we will be petitioning actually President Uhuru directly to try and include ending theft of public money or corruption as one of the other items on the big four, so that they can be big five. And I think if he addresses really the issue of money being lost, I think even the big four items agenda will be automatic. I think really, without belaboring, that's much you want to say. I don't know whether Pio or Anita, from the youth perspective, have something to add.
We'll address the question.
We'll address it. Okay. Thank you very much. Unless kuna any, you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, that's
Good enough.
Sawa bana. Sasa